to show me what his plan and his will is. He's now using it to show me what it's going to be like in the future. But he knows what's best for me. Though my weary eyes cannot see, I'll just say, thank you, Lord. I won't complain. Dear Mama, I woke up this morning from a terrible nightmare that shook me to my very core. Can't say that I ever imagined feeling so much pain while in a subconscious state. With bitter tears and heavy crying, I attempted to somehow gather myself and to write down my thoughts from what I had just experienced. The plan was to have a huge celebration for you that would combine your belated birthday and this Mother's Day at our childhood home on Cardian Road back in East Cleveland, Ohio. I remember that I bragged to friends and coworkers, also to my business colleagues, about big travel plans to return home just for you. Everyone that I told all looked at me as if I were crazy, but didn't have the heart to tell me the real reality of the situation. A very dear friend of mine from my past, who knew and understood my great love for you, came to go shopping with me at some huge mall to buy all of your favorite gifts. And then later, she just loved on me for a while, as she knew and understood the severity of the delusional state that I was in. And she agreed to go home with me to East Cleveland. The house was packed wall to wall upon our arrival, and family and friends came from everywhere just to be a part of this great celebration that I had planned for you. As we walked through the old house, greeting and hugging everyone, we finally made it up the front stairs, where I then took off to run into your bedroom and dive on the bed like I always used to do. Whether you and Dad were asleep or not, you guys knew the deal, and you knew that your baby boy was taking over that bed. But imagine my surprise when I found that your room was only dark and empty. Everything was in place, just like I remembered it, because I could still see figures and shapes in the dark. The signs above the bed, you know, the one that said, "Work hard, because the job you save may be your very own." And the other one that said, "You have one life, and it will soon be past. And only what you do for Christ, that will last." The green fan was in the window on Dad's side of the bed, with that little black and white TV on the small stand against the wall that me and him used to fall asleep watching football and baseball games on. Daddy and your late sister, Auntie Pumpkin, they came upstairs and they watched me look for you in the dark. Daddy was obviously conflicted on how to approach me, so he stood at a distance and he said, "Son, your mama won't be coming back phenomenal birthdays or Mother's Day. Not normal. In my distress at his statement, I regretfully and shamefully remarked back at him, "But I guess you'll be back next month for Father's Day though. Right, Daddy?" My dad looked at me, wide-eyed and yet with disappointment. But like when I was little, somehow, no matter how angry he may have ever been at me, he always seemed to hear my heart when there was pain beyond the trouble that I had gotten into. He then, with tears in his eyes, replied and said, "Son, I always understand." I then ran out of your bedroom and into my old bedroom right next to yours, where I found all 5 of the older siblings. Everyone was sitting all around my bed and on Norman's bed. They were all looking bewildered and lost, sad and somber, silent and still. Big brother G-Man was standing facing my dresser while looking deeply into the mirror as he wiped his tear-filled eyes. A former Marine and drill instructor, you remember that his voice carries weight. He said to all of the others, "So why didn't y'all tell him?" I said, "Tell me what?" There was a deafening silence in that room for what seemed like an eternity. You could feel the confused emotions, the regret, the pain, the emptiness. They all looked down and started crying inconsolably. It was at that very moment that reality struck me, and I remembered the funeral. I wanted to jump out of my bedroom window when my subconscious awoke. My dear friend who had traveled with me started squeezing my hand really tight so that I wouldn't harm myself. I cried as hard and as insanely as I had cried on October the 8th, 2022, at your bedside at the hospice of the Western Reserve, back on that sunny Saturday morning when you left us all. I went into some warped, crazy atmosphere in my mind while screaming as I heard someone saying in my ear, "There will be no more Mother's Day." God help me. I've never felt more broken and so lost in my life. I don't even want to think about it anymore. I had to pray and to rest my head from the pain after all the screaming and crying that Mother's Day morning brought me. I just wanted to survive. So Mama, here it goes. I've made up my mind to celebrate your life with every fiber of my being, to make sure that you're always remembered as the best human being that I ever had the pleasure to know. I want the world to know of your great love and dedication to your husband, your children, your grandchildren, your friends and family, strangers in your church, but most importantly, to God. I watched you anoint and pray for Daddy before he found Christ. No matter how terrible those days were, and they were terrible, you told us to never stop praying for Daddy. You anointed us with oil and sent us out in the streets of East Cleveland every day with a clear conscience that God would return every one of your little lambs that you let out of that door. You gave so much. You did so much. And God knows how bad we all wanted to repay you. But that debt for us was obviously insurmountable. When your only option was to abort me or to die, you gladly rather chose death. And your crazy, radical, childlike faith brought us both long life, longevity, and lots of love and laughs over the years. And I thank you for that, Mom. You were always my best friend. I love that I never had to hide anything from you. You loved me and encouraged me through every phase of my life. We talked about everything. We interpreted dreams and visions together so many more times than I can even count. The endless jokes and pranks, the greatest food cooked and prepared under the sun, the sweetest and most meek and humble spirit ever. You are beloved, Mama. You are the virtuous woman of Proverbs 31. You spend and you toiled all night. You worked all night while your husband and children were fast asleep. But in the morning, we all arised and called you blessed. Man, you are the greatest, Mom. What will we ever do without you now? In this season of our lives where time is expedited and we are constantly changing every single day. The season where our leaves are now turning brown and the winter of our lives is but a few moments away, where we shall sleep and not rise again until the end of time. You took your journey with gladness and appreciation for what was a wonderful, wonderful life. We thank you for sharing that life with us. So, Mama, if there be no more Mother's Day for me, I say let every day be a day of remembrance for you. May the Lord forever forgive us if we ever fail to remember. No more regrets, save only that I regret that there must be by default this last and final season without you. In the meantime, I think I'll fire up my stove and do for me what you taught me to do. I'll cook a small meal. I'll read my word. I'll sing a little song and dance a little dance and pray before I lie down to sleep. Who knows? Maybe when I wake, I'll see you again for the rest of eternity. So it's never goodbye, Mama. It's I'll see you later. Someday, somewhere in the sky. Godspeed be unto thee, O Queen. It is well with our souls. And woman, you are loved. 1,000,000 kisses to the sky. And one more thing. Happy Mother's Day. And it is